So my father was from Boston. He was from Revere, Massachusetts. He played hockey growing up in Pee-wees and juniors with Michael Rizzioni, who, if anybody doesn't know, Michael Rizzioni was on the, I think it was the 79, 80 Olympic team, and
Yeah.
they faced Russia. It was during the Cold War, so it was like very important that, we beat them, and all odds were against them. And Michael Rizzioni scored the winning goal, and we won the gold. So my father was really involved in hockey his whole life, and then my family moved down here. This was before I was born. Uh, my father still continued to play, and then I was born, and there was no rinks around here.
Right.
That I think there was one that was like old shot out rink towards like North Miami area. So my father, I don't know who he talked to, but whoever he signed a contract with and built Sunrise Ice Skating Center. It was like the first real ice skating, hockey, public skating, everything there,
Right.
public rink. I was born in Plantation. We moved to Fort Lauderdale, and growing up, my father was a Bruins fan, diehard Bruins fan. So I grew up watching the Bruins and loving hockey, and of course, my mother wanted me to play baseball and everything else but hockey.
Right.
So I got to a certain age where this was back before South Florida even had NHL games on TV. So I must have been like 9 or 10 years old, maybe even younger, and there was the Olympics were on, and it was the figure skating, and I was sitting there in tears as like 8 or 9, however years old I was, and my mother came in and was like, "Why are you crying?" And I said, "I really want to play hockey." She said, "That's figure skating." And I said, "Well, I know, but they're on ice."
They're on ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think a year went by or so, and Christmas I opened up this big, huge bag, and it was a hockey bag full of equipment and a
Nice.
stick. And then I started playing, and I was always like the smallest kid in the group. I mean, like always like 60 pounds growing up, and never could put weight on.
Right.
So playing hockey, I was always the smallest one out there, and everyone's like, "Is he gonna be okay? Is he gonna be okay?" And time went on, and time went on. Years went by. I started growing, and I started getting better. My father always made sure to, if he wasn't the coach, he was one of the assistant coaches or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
And
yeah.
most of the coaches were guys of kids that these guys never watched hockey. Most of them never played hockey, never ice skated, so they were kind of
Right.
coaching from the sidelines. My father, he would put his skates on, his gloves, and his stick, and go out there and have us running drills, suicides, running plays. My father, he was just really good at getting everybody ready, and it's a different thing to coach from the sideline than to be
Right.
on the ice coaching, with cones and everything else. And he really brought up all these kids really well. And as I got older, I got better, and there was probably 5 or 6 of us in the league, and I think there was like 6 teams, and there was like 5 or 6 of us that really started to excel to the point where the other parents were like, these kids don't belong with my kids, but we were all the same age. It's just their kids weren't developed yet, as far as we were, as far as hockey, skating, and hockey IQ and stick handling. This was before the Panthers. So
Right.
our junior league, the people that were in charge got together with some of the parents, and they were just kept talking about how it's just not fair that hockey's getting so big down here that we should have a team down here. And it was shortly after the Lightning got their team. And before the
Right.
Lightning, it was actually rumored that Miami might get a team. So when the Lightning got the team, I think that's what really set everybody off. So we were like, well, we can still do this. So uh, we got everybody together, and whether it was known or unknown, they told us it was unknown, maybe to make a good story. But so we went to Wayne Heising's office, which I think he was like waste management or something back
Yeah.
then. And so we went into his office and told him, I mean, we were like 30 people deep, parents, kids. We had our hockey jerseys on. And And we went in there and we basically demanded that he get a
That he,
team down here. So he said to, I remember him looking over his desk like, what the heck is going on here? You know, and his
like
face was just
like
bright red.
like who set up this meeting? You're fired, right?
Yeah, who let the Mighty Ducks in here, you know?
Right.
So, you know, the parents did most of the talking and we were kind of doing the whining, you know, like,
Yeah,
yeah, we
yeah.
need a team, please, Mr. Heisinger. So
That's
he called,
gold.
he was so cool, man. He was so cool. He actually told us, look, guys, I'm really busy right now, you know, and I can remember this like yesterday. He was like, but I'm gonna write it down. And he got in touch with I can't remember the guy that was I think his name was Hal back then. He was the like basically the GM of like the junior league that I played in. It
Right.
was Gold Coast Ice Rink was the name of it. It was in Pompano, Florida. If anybody knows, it's called the rink on the beach now, and it's not even on the
Okay.
beach. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he got in touch with the guy that was in charge of the Lighthouse Point League, and told us to come back. So we went back. It wasn't as many people, and he said, "Look, I got in touch with some people I know, and I got the Rangers and the Kings coming to Miami Arena. We're going to
That's
figure
right.
out how to make ice when we don't have any cooling pipes." So they made probably the worst ice ever in the history of the NHL, but it lasted 3 periods. And he told us that meeting before the game. He said, if you guys can sell out the Miami Arena, then I will do whatever it takes to bring hockey to South Florida. I will do whatever it takes to, you know, buy a team, invest in a team. And we sold out. I mean, there was people waiting in line to get in because, you know, there's got a lot of Rangers fans down here, a lot of people from New
Yeah.
York,
Yeah, yeah.
and there was a lot of Kings fans in there too.